Alright man, for this last drill here, we're going to actually work on the back roll. We're going to do in a tuck position. So what we're going to really try to do is try to focus on getting our knees over as much as possible and not try to break it all on our hips, right? So we're really going to try to stay in that tight tuck ball. I'm going to assist you, I'm going to give you a spot. I want to make sure that you understand how important it is to work on a spot around this too. So I'll assist you through the action. I don't want you to go super fast with it because I'll assist you as much as needed, but I really want you to try to feel like you're keeping those hips close and those knees driving around.
And I'm thinking about getting my knees back.
Yeah, I want to make sure you're not driving those knees up towards the ceiling at all. Trying to get them back down to the ground. Yep, initiate with the pull, get yourself into a nice tight ball, and then really just try to have your whole body turn over as one piece. Keep those hips nice and close, all right? Directly from your knees. All right, let's do it. Okay. Okay, that was a little fast. That was fast, all right? So again, because I'm spotting, I want you to slow it down. I'm going to do a lot of the work for you, okay? So don't feel like you have to get super aggressive with it. I like the fact that you're directing with your knees, but it's just a little bit too fast. Let's slow it down and allow me to give you the pop that will get you on top of the support, all right? Slow, slow. I'll push it all the way out, finish it out. Good. That was better. Yeah, so that first one, you got a little too aggressive, all right? Talk about how aggressiveness is important here, but the timing is so critical. Yeah. And when we're doing something with a spot, I want you to really focus on trying to do it as strict as possible, nice and slow, and allow me to do some of that action for you to kind of get you turned over, right? The second one was better, let's try one more. Same thing, nice and slow. Allow me to pop your chest, you worry about getting your knees turned over. There you go. That's better. Much better. How that one failed. That was good. Yeah. I was able to kind of get in position a little bit more because you were slower. Yeah. As a spotter, if you're going super fast, it's hard to get in sometimes. Yeah. So you want to make sure that we're doing things slowly here, making sure the spotter will get in place to actually assist you properly.
Yeah, I can still feel that when you're spotting, right through that kind of like little transition.
Right. How important it is to get your shoulder above the rings too, right? Mm-hmm. So if you, like we talked about how important the timing is, if you start trying to get that action where you're pushing against the rings, where you're doing it too early before your shoulders actually come above the rings, first you're making it so much more harder, and so you're making it incrementally harder. You want to make sure that you're allowing the sit-up to happen before you actually press out, all right? Yeah. So the timing is really critical here. You want to be aggressive, but you have to make sure you're being aggressive at the right time. All right? Cool. So for this last drill, we're actually going to work on the full back roll again. So what we're going to do it in a tuck position. I'm going to spot you, all right? I want to make sure that you're not really trying to go too fast. Slow it down a little bit and allow me to do the necessary work to get you in support. I'm trying to work more on trying to figure out how to keep those rings in nice and tight close to your chest and trying to make sure that you're not opening up in your hips, all right? You want to make sure that as you come past vertical, knees are directing back down towards the ground so that the direction is there, all right? Yep. Let's do it. This side over again. No, it was just a little fast. It was a little fast. It was a little fast. Get nice. Okay.
What?
Okay. Good. That one was solid. Feel the pace there? Yeah. Talk about how important the timing is, right? You are aggressive, but if you're not aggressive at the right time, it kind of goes all out of whack. You want to make sure your shoulders are turning over first before you're getting that pull in, that pushing action down. All right?
Yeah. The more we're doing it, the more I'm feeling aware. I'm having more awareness.
Right.
You know, the fewer, when I only did a few of them, I could have had no.
Right. So as a spotter too, what does it allow you to do? It allows you to do a lot more reps correctly, right? If you try to do a few of these on your own, kind of shoulders going all over the place, you limit the number of ones you can possibly do correctly, right? So we want you to be able to do a lot of these because the consistency is so important. We want you to make sure you're doing it properly. Making sure you're strong enough to be able to hold that support so that as you're training this and as you're progressing, you're actually training and properly, getting your muscles prepared for the support action. In gymnastics, it's not a very high level skill, but that doesn't mean it's difficult. It's not difficult. Yeah. That's a really important distinction to make. Just because it's not a very high level gymnastics movement does not mean it's not difficult. It's very difficult to do. So you don't want to feel like because it's a low level element, you can just kind of like breeze through it. It's not the case. You still have to build a very solid foundation of strength to be able to handle it. Cool? Cool. Nice work.
So the one we've been working on, the back kick,
Yeah.
is the first one that people should learn.
So it's a more static action, right? You're not trying to get any momentum into it. You're starting from a pretty still position and using a lot of strength and power to get actually turned over into the support. This is a little bit more swing-based. This is more momentum-based. So you should really think about these two skills as two separate entities, two different movements.
So there's a back kick, which is a little bit more...
Right, so that's the back roll you've been seeing a lot. And then in gymnastics called back kick. And then this one is a similar type of action where you're going from below the rings and finishing in support. But this one in gymnastics is called felge, and you're using a swinging action to get into it. All right?
Is felge a guy?
I don't think so. Oh. No. Most of the skills of gymnastics are named after the first person that ever performed it in either World Championships or Olympic Games, but felge I think is just maybe a German word for this action. Yeah. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to show you a couple different variations. The first one I'm going to do it tucked. So my body's going to be in a kind of a ball action where I'm trying to direct what we were talking about when you were doing the back kick itself in the tuck. We're going to try to do it directly my feet over, not opening up my hips at all. The second one I'll do in that piped, more of the action that you'll see an actual gymnast do it, more of a straight body action. And the last one I'll kind of do a variation where, with some of the mistakes that I normally see when I'm in a gym kind of coaching this.
Which one is normally done in gymnastics routines?
So gymnastics is always about as straight of a body as possible. So your body has to be completely straight, legs straight, and your elbows actually have to be locked out to get no deduction. So even if you have any bend in your knees or if you have any bend in your elbows, the skill gets deducted. You get points taken away. So you want to be able to do a straight body, straight leg, all that.
Gotcha.
All right? So first one will be tucked, just to kind of initiate with your knees, trying to keep those hips nice and closed. All right, here's version 2. Should be that same thing, you're just coming over, scooping action, straight legs rather than that tuck position. So now I'm initiating through the bottom, scooping directly from my feet rather than my knees. Everything else stays the same. It stays as close as I can for my hips, still trying to watch my toes as I come over the top. Alright, so this last one I'll kind of show normally happens when you try to start opening up your hips. Right? So closing your hips and trying to turn over, it allows you to be efficient in that turnover action. It allows you to feel like your body is actually working as one piece, getting back up to that support. If I open up my hips, the lower half of my body starts working in the opposing direction that I'm trying to travel, so it takes away from where I'm trying to go. So just watch how much more difficult, how much more energy I'm expending. I'm going to try to do it this way.
You're saying that's no good.
No good. So already, I didn't even make it over, right? So I tried to go through vertical, and because I was opening up my hips so much, my knees and feet were kind of either directed straight up towards vertical or back the way that I was trying to come from. So it's taken away from the direction you're trying to travel, trying to get over the top. So we're trying to direct from our lower half to allow us to work as one piece.
So, but do you know how we talked about when I did it in the ring thing, I was able to do it strict the whole way.
Yeah.
And when I come up to the rings, I would need a little bit of a spot to do it strict.
Sure.
So I need a little bit of a hip if I was going to do a back hip.
Mm-hmm.
So where would your cue be for my kit or hips to initiate? How would I be able to time that as I'm doing it?
So the easiest way is to do it slowly with a spot so you can start feeling the action almost every inch of that turnover where you need to be. If you can start breaking it down inch by inch in a slow action, it'll start giving you a better appreciation for where your body is through that movement. That's why we try to do things strict, so you can really try to start to feel things as they're happening. You don't want things to feel like they're happening fast forward. You want to feel like almost they're slowing down. When you really become, as a gymnast, when you become really strong at particular movements, they actually feel like they're slowing down. I don't know if you've heard like professional athletes talk about being in the zone and stuff like that and being able to like feel like if you're playing basketball, the basket is, the size of a garbage can, or, something where you feel like you're able to do things in slow motion. That's what happens in gymnastics when you're able to get to a point with a skill where you have complete mastery over it. So to be able to kind of do these enough in a strict action where you're doing it where you feel comfortable, you'll start being able to feel every inch of this skill. You'll start being able to feel, okay, I need to get my shoulders above the rings enough before I start pushing down on the rings. That's why we want people to get strong enough to be able to feel every piece of it, rather than just trying to whip their body over the top and just hope that the rings stay close to their body.
Right.
So a lot of it just comes with repetition, doing it in strict action to get an appreciation for what's really happening as you come through vertical. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do one more, and I'll try to get my body past vertical, try to get to the support, but I want to do it again where I'm opening up my hips.
Nice.
Did it. So there it is, right? So you see the different variations.
Yeah.
One that's more efficient, you see less work's being done using my body in a more efficient manner than you saw in that last one where my body's kind of going in all different directions. My limbs aren't together, so they're taken away from the direction. Just makes it more difficult. It should seem obvious after you see
Yeah,
the differences. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.